Clever, come get this potato tower. This bed just out of hand, but I just think it's funner this way. I ain't harvesting nothing. Now, this one look crazy. I don't know why it look like that. Who seems to not want the smoke with me today. We love that. Good morning. Welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. I am about to start fertilizing with my fish emulsion. 2 of these are just about empty, but I'm gonna put some water in them so that I can use them, then dispose of them. There's only 1 left that's full, so I need to take a trip to Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply, wherever, and get some more fish emulsion. I have the rest of this month where I will be fertilizing. If you're not new here, you will remember I said in another video that I'm trying to figure out, should I switch my fertilizer on the broccoli? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not gonna do that. It is because when I first started fall gardening, I never switched my fertilizer. So I'm not gonna do it this year. And I got a really good harvest when I first started fall gardening off of my broccoli, and I didn't switch it. So I'm not gonna switch it. But I was out here because I took care of the quail and the chickens this morning. And so thing is, these quail, I really need to get around to doing the deep cleaning. I'm gonna do that sometime this week because they are molting. And I don't know if I ever paid attention to the fact that they molt before, but I probably did not notice it because there were pine shavings in there. There's sand in their area now, so I can see all of their feathers. So I really need to get around to doing that. But I went ahead, fed them, changed their water, did all of that stuff this morning, gave them some treats, which they're not eating right now. There's a tomato in both of their coops that they have not eaten. Probably been in there for, 3 or 4 days. But today I squished it to see if maybe they would eat it. They're still not eating it. That is why when you see me giving snacks to the chickens, if you're not new here, and I don't give it to the quail, they don't eat them. They prefer like nuts and things that they got, I guess they have to scratch down in. They do like the black soldier fly lava and those kind of things, but like putting actual vegetables in there, they don't really eat them. But I want to show y'all something. Also, this is just me randomly talking this morning because I was out here and seeing things, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna take them along with me. It's also supposed to rain later. It rained really good yesterday too, which I think was very helpful to the onions and the leeks and the shallots that we cut. Let me show y'all them. Now, if you remember, these were like laying over and looking just really bad. These are the leeks. They're all sitting up now. They look really good. Like this one I didn't actually cut because it was already very small. But anyway, they're looking a lot better. And let me show you, these are the shallots. Looking a lot better, y'all. I love that for me. Love that for me. And I'm also kind of paying attention to this soil. You'll see there's like pieces of wood chips in it. This one has chicken bedding in it. So I'm paying attention, and I'm going to pay attention when it's time for me to actually amend it to see if it, hardened or anything in here. But looking much better. This one I didn't cut. I cut this, but not this. Anyway, it's looking a lot better. Those are in that beautiful black green stock, y'all. I know black is just like a basic color, but I really like black. I'm gonna go show you the ones that's in the blackberry because those look really good too, and they were looking real bad. Everything is looking good. I'm happy that I made this decision. So I'm very hopeful that, in the next few weeks before we get a frost that they really take off. I'm gonna fertilize them with fish emulsion as well. Also, other thing that I did so that I could stop checking. I went and checked the days to maturity on my Green Magic broccoli. So days to maturity just means like once you plant that seed or that plant, how long it's gonna take for you to get the fruit or the vegetable. Here's the thing, we're in fall, and so fall, your growth slows down. And so even if your days to maturity says like 60 days, which the Green Magic broccoli is 57 to 60 days, it still may take 75 days. Just because we don't have a lot of sun and the sun is lower in the sky and it's cooler. And these plants do like to grow in the cool season, but the growth could slow down. So the Green Magic, which is 3 rows right here, I think 4 rows over there, they won't be producing for me until more than likely the end of October. So instead of changing my fertilizer, I'm going to wait until it is time for them to start producing. And if I'm not seeing it then, maybe I'll think about changing it. But I'm very much thinking I'm not going to just because I'm trying to do the same thing I did the first year I ever did a fall garden, and the fall garden did well. So I looked that up because I was very interested. I was like, when are these plants supposed to start maturing? Because me just watching them and thinking, oh, the plants are big enough, they should be, giving me a broccoli. I said, let's go look at the days to maturity. So the days to maturity on that is 57 to 60 days, but because we're in the fall, it could be a little bit longer. Also, baby, come get this potato tower. I'm not gonna give up though. I am not expecting a huge harvest out of this when these die back, because just about everything else is dead. Like you can see this top one. Once these die back, the ones that still a bit green, we're just gonna go ahead and harvest it. And I remembered I need to go get more garlic, because this is supposed to be a garlic tower once these potatoes come out. So I need to go and get some garlic, but I'm not giving up on that. Those were looking really good before I left for vacation. Whatever happened during vacation, which I know we had a good amount of rain, it did not work well for that potato tower. But whatever potatoes we get in there, we're going to also harvest them and eat them. So, yeah. All right, little update here. If y'all remember, this is where we put the meal grinds. Meal is a food recycler, and I use the grinds in the garden. This is where we put them, and look at those plants. Look at those plants. I am super excited. They are pretty much the same size as the ones that's in the garden bed. And the ones that's in the garden bed actually was planted out before them. And the ones in the back are starting to look better and less leggy now. And I think that's because we're losing a lot of the leaves that were shading them on this grapevine. But yeah, also thinking about like doing something with this grapevine. And when I say doing something, just kind of maybe going straight up and cutting it back, so that next year it's not this plus the extra. But we'll see. We shall see, y'all. So I was just out here this morning, honestly looking around. My peas are really struggling to get up that trellis. I'm not going to worry about that. We're probably not going to have peas this year because I also forgot to put them over in the greenhouse. I'm going to show y'all the greenhouse. That's looking better too. Also watered that this morning. So it rained yesterday, so the garden got watered, but of course the greenhouse did not. And that's okay. So I watered that this morning too. That's going to be a part of my fertilizing. I would take y'all along with me on fertilizing, but my God, it literally takes me about 2.5 hours to fertilize this whole garden. And I'm okay with that. As long as I get my harvest, because if you remember, like, why do we have so much broccoli? My children won't eat store broccoli unless I fry it. So if I steam it, they're not going to eat it. If I saute it, they don't eat it. They said it does not taste the same. And I mentioned that in another video, that like I eat things that I used to did not eat because it tastes different. So my children are not eating that broccoli. My plan here is I want to get enough broccoli that it can take us into next fall. And then we'll just grow it again, and then we'll do it all over again. We'll preserve it all over again. And I preserve mine by blanching it and putting in the freezer. That's my plan. That's how I do all of the fall vegetables for the most part that I preserve, which is really just collards, kale, and broccoli. That's my plan. And so that's why we have so much broccoli. My gardening reasoning is changing. So I still do it as a hobby. I still do it for fun. But now I'm also thinking about preserving. I want to get the things we eat, and preserve it. And so this year you're not seeing any radishes in the garden, any rutabaga, any turnips. I do like them, but I do not like them enough that I want to take up space in my garden this year for them. Maybe next year I will. Who knows? But this year, my big focus was collards and broccoli. And then you have kale, that's fine too. But my focus was collards and broccoli. So listen, this bed just out of hand. It's just out of hand. The zinnias are dying. But I'm going to come through when we don't have any rain and these have dried a little bit. I'm going to grab all of these zinnia heads because I'm going to keep the seeds from those. The roselle, we had rain and wind. It's just falling over. Thank goodness I have a privacy fence because I'm just letting it lay. But there's so many flowers on it now. There's a lot of flowers on it now. So I'm excited for that because I am going to try that drink this year if I get enough calyxes. I have some in the house, but it wasn't a lot. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. But look, just done fell all over here, but it's pretty big. And look at the stalk on it. Like, oh my goodness, that thing is thick. It's very thick. So I'm excited, y'all. This came out really well. So next year, I'm going to plant more than just one. Don't know where I'm gonna put it though, because they get so big. They get so big. But the garden is still looking amazing. And the peppers, they need to be harvested. I don't feel like doing it right now. And peppers, you can leave them on the plant a little bit longer than some other vegetables like tomatoes, and they'll just like ripen, turn red, that kind of stuff. So I'm not in any kind of rush to harvest them, but they do need to be harvested. We have a lot of shishitos, which I may just come and get the shishitos because I want to eat them. We're almost at the end of shishito season, and I absolutely love those peppers. Did you try them this year? Because you know I talk about them every year. Did you try them this year, and did you love them, or at least like them? Or were you like, yeah, this is not for me? Because everybody got different, taste buds and palates. I'm just wondering because, I love them. By the way, I'm looking at these Brussels sprouts. Well, the plants that I think are Brussels sprouts, but I'm not 100% sure. But it looks like they are getting Brussels sprouts. I always thought that Brussels sprout leaves like curved up. They were round and curved up. But let me show you this. I still could be wrong. This could be a side shoot growing. I could still be wrong, but we're going to follow it because I'm very interested. I had a bunch of them labeled that, and I feel like I couldn't have made a mistake that big, but I absolutely could have. So see right here? That looks like it might be a Brussels sprout. I don't know. And I could also just go look up a picture of the Long Island Brussels sprout. But I just think it's funner this way. I think it's funner this way to just keep watching it. I do want to keep this fun, but I also do want to start gardening for preservation. So Brussels sprouts, we love them around here. And I just want to get some Brussels sprouts. It's like super windy today, y'all. Look at the rose bushes. By the way, they've started blooming again. I didn't cut nothing, but they've started blooming again. So I'm kind of excited about that. I said I'm probably going to get rid of them. I'm still thinking about it. That's my plan, probably, maybe. Who knows, y'all? That's one thing I don't do. Like, even though I'm getting very serious about my reasoning for gardening, I'm still not taking it too serious, if that makes sense. But yeah, those roses are starting to bloom again. And I did not keep up with the rose hips. So I don't know if we really have rose hips or not. I don't know. Who knows? But rose hips are supposed to be really good medicinally, I believe. And so that's why I wanted them. But I don't think that I kept up with them. Look at these peppers. Look at all of those peppers. Those are banana peppers. They definitely could stand to be harvested, but we're not going to. We also got some jalapenos over here that are ready to go, if y'all can see all of those. And I'm constantly showing the shishito peppers because there's a lot of them on there too. But like I said, I might come out here and harvest them just so that I can eat those. I don't want anything to happen. Also, the red one. I got a red one day. It was super hot. I don't want it. I had tasted it on camera and I was like, uh-oh, shouldn't have done that. Also, the pimento peppers back here, they're doing really good. And this plant was in a garden bed all season long, didn't do anything, transferred it into this bag and it did great. So we probably, maybe, will come out here and do a harvest video sometime this week. Oh, y'all, let me show y'all this Brad's Atomic Grape. The Brad's Atomic Grape is still going. I ain't harvesting nothing. Look at all them tomatoes in there. Girl, that's a mess. I really need to come and get them. It's a whole bunch of them over there too. Look, they all in there, y'all. All in there. Some over there. They all in there. And those plants were planted out in May, like early May, and it might have been end of April because I started planting a little bit earlier this year. So whatever I do, I'm gonna get some of those seeds because this plant is doing amazing. I think it may be 2 of them, but it's doing amazing. And so I do definitely want to save those seeds because they're definitely seeming like they're going to go all the way to the first frost. But I'm going to get the seeds before that. Look at this poblano pepper that the ants and aphids got, but it's still producing. Looky here. So many things I learned this year. Now, this one looked crazy. I don't know why it looked like that. But there's so many things I learned this year. I was going to pull these peppers out. If you're not new here, I was going to pull them all out. But something told me, just leave them. Just leave them and see what happens. And that's exactly what I did. The plant still doesn't look great. This one right here. But, I mean, it's definitely producing a bunch of poblanos for me. And I do love a good poblano pepper. Oh, the other thing, I'm going to stake all of the broccoli that's in the walkway. Because as it gets bigger, it's all kind of leaning. And I just want to stake them like I did these 3. I think it's 3 of them right there that I staked. So I'm going to stake everything in this walkway. The other thing I was thinking was once the peppers finish, like once we get our first frost, I can move all of the broccoli that's in the walkway over to where the peppers are. That way, this will just be empty bags right here for the rest of fall. And the broccoli can go over there. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. That way I can walk down my walkway. Like I said, don't regret adding those bags to the walkway. But like when I'm walking through there, I really gotta watch what I'm doing as to not break a plant. The leaf getting broken, not a big deal. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. By the way, this lettuce, I don't think we talked about it, but it looks like, you know, this is a good spot for lettuce. This actual lettuce does not look good. Like that one is about to go to seed. I'm pretty sure of that. When it starts to get tall like that, chances are it's about to go to seed. So with that being said, I'm probably gonna pull all of this out. We're gonna eat it though, and then I'm gonna replant this with more lettuce. But I still need to start the seed, and I could absolutely direct sow them. If you're not new here, you know that when I direct sow, for some reason, I don't actually remember to come and water the seeds. And with that being said, if the seeds aren't wet, they're not gonna germinate. So, oh, by the way, Greenstock sent me over some of their trays, and since I need to clean the Bootstrap Farmer trays, we're gonna start our next set of seeds in the Greenstock trays. Let me show you them. I love the fact that they have a little handle, so you put your seedling trays down into the bottom tray, and then you have a little handle. So I think it's really cool. They sent me the blackberry. They sent me the blackberry. We love that. So this little kit right here, and it has a handle. Let me see if I can show y'all. Right here. And then you have them in there, and you can just pick the whole thing up. So I'm excited. We're gonna start our next set of seeds in here, because while I am working on cleaning up, I could get real lazy. We got the back porch done, we got the seed starting quail pantry area done, but I have not cleaned my trays yet. I'm just gonna get a tote, throw some soap in there, maybe a little bit of bleach, maybe a little bit of vinegar. I don't know. Either way, we're gonna do that because we wanna make sure they're ready for the next set of seedlings that we need to start, which I will start seedlings again sometime in, I want to say, maybe December, early January for spring, because I have found that even in 7B in my area, I can still get a spring garden as long as I plant out early enough. And we are over to the greenhouse, still looking good. We do not have any new caterpillar damage in here. Think I showed this on my last video, but there isn't any new caterpillar damage. I'm super excited. The new plants that we put in, they are still looking really good. Now, they are growing slower, and like I said, fall has something to do with it, but in my greenhouse, light does too. It's over in the corner of my yard, and we just don't get we don't get full sun over here. So they're definitely going to grow a lot slower, a whole lot slower. And I'm okay with that because they're also going to be in a covered area. And so I think that they'll be okay. I'm also thinking about getting some of the leaves trimmed off of the trees to the back end of my yard, because the sun actually sits in the south right here. That's where my sun sits all day, right? That's also where a lot of the trees are. So if you can see that. And initially, this tree over here, I did not want to cut any of the limbs off because it was shading the chickens, which at this point, it's covered. I have a tarp over a portion of it so they can get shade when they need it. So I'm thinking about getting somebody to come and cut these limbs back a little bit. Now, how they gonna get to them limbs is gonna be interesting. I feel like my neighbor behind me wouldn't mind if they came in their backyard and then was able to kind of climb the tree, because that's normally what they do over here in my area, they just climb the trees. And I think it's because we don't have a lot of space for them to, just cut the tree and let it fall. But in my area, they climb the tree, they cut the limbs. I know y'all don't care. So listen, that's kind of what I'm out here doing this morning. I am trying to figure out what's next because like I said in my last video, fall gardening is pretty simple. There's not a lot that you have to do. There's not a lot of staking, a lot of tying things up, pruning things. There's not a lot of that in fall. So if you've never grown a fall garden, you might want to think about it because honest truth, it's a much easier time for gardening and you're still getting food. Anyway, like I said, I think I'm going to get somebody to come and trim these as much just to open up this back area so that the sun can come in. And in fall, I kind of really need that because it's already lower in the sky, the sun. By the way, update on my babies. If y'all remember, there was a whole little situation this year with these chickens. But they are actually looking really good. So this is the gray one. She never had any problems. I don't remember anybody's names like talking about now. I remember my first set of chickens' names. My daughter named these chickens. Anyway, so she looks amazing. She has started molting, but her feathers are already growing back. But she has started molting, but she's looking good. Her butt feathers are not nasty and gross, so we love that for us. Then we have her here. Who is that? I want to say this is Betty. Yes, that's Betty. She has a smaller comb. She is the only one that still has a little bit of yucky butt. I think y'all can see it, but it's not a lot. Peace, all of her feathers are coming back. I think she's a beautiful chicken. So when she wasn't looking good, I was like, oh God, even her butt feathers are coming back. And then that's Bertha, who seems to not want to smoke with me today. We love that. I gave them a lot of stuff this morning. There was peppers in there, eggplants. I gave them some sage. There's also, there was a little bit of garlic in there, some cayenne peppers. So they're looking really good. Whoa. By the way, y'all, girl almost took my whole head off with this bun in this top. Anyway, by the way, Grub Terra had sent over some of their coop refresh. It is amazing. I think we are 2 weeks from when I put that in. You can still smell it. That's something I did this morning too. I went through and scooped the poop out of their coop, but you can, all of that rhymes, scoop the poop out of their coop. Anyway, but you can still smell it. It's really awesome. So if you're looking for something like that, I wish y'all could smell-o-vision, but I know you can't. But if you are interested in a coop refresh, something to keep your coop smelling good, not that you need it. They are outside animals. Not that you need it, but if you're looking for something like that, it still smells really good in there. It still smells really fresh in there. It should last for a month, I think the packet said. It smells so good. And I think 3 or 4 packages come in that one pack that you purchase. So that's like 4 months of this smelling, 3 or 4 months of this smelling good. So I really do like it. Also, putting the sand in here saved my life. I really like sand in there. We will see how it works in the cold season, in the winter. But right now, the sand is saving my life. I literally am coming through with a scooper. But the coop refresh, I'll put a link down below in case you're interested. I was one of those people who was like, they're outside animals. Why does it matter? It does matter when you gotta clean it. I do. So listen, you're not new here. I always said like, you don't have to have a mask, or I'm not telling you not to have a mask, but I don't use a mask, right? I definitely use a mask now. I do. So I was watching how much dust was coming up out of that coop, and I was like, you're breathing that in. So I definitely use a mask now. So I take back what I said. I feel like you should use a mask, but I'm not telling you got to. So update on my plans for the citrus. They are going to go into the newer greenhouse, right? But I may have another greenhouse, hoop house, like rolls up on the side, all of that kind of stuff coming eventually, not anytime soon. And I'm going to put them in there. Somebody has said to me, like, why not put the citrus into the quick tent greenhouse? I'm not going to do that because it doesn't get a lot of sun. And I know citrus doesn't need, full sun. As I understand it, that's what I've been hearing. Like, it doesn't need full sun. And these don't get full sun. It shades out kind of early in the day, and they're doing great. So that greenhouse, hoop house that I was telling y'all about, I plan to put it here. And then I plan to get rid of this one. Someone was saying that I could replace the cover, but honestly, I don't want it here anymore. I want to be able to see the whole garden area from the steps. My garden is always evolving, y'all. So when I come down the steps, I want to be able to see the whole garden, including this side. And so this greenhouse right here is obstructing my view. So I want to get rid of it anyway. And yes, the framing is fine. I'm pretty sure the framing is fine. I probably won't get rid of it. I might give it away. There is a community garden in the city next to me. I may ask them if they want it, and then they can buy the cover if they want to. This is down the road. Probably, I'm going to say next year. Like, it's down the road, but that's what I want to do. And the greenhouse hoop house that I'm probably going to get is, I want to say 10 by 12, something like that. So all of those shelves can go in that greenhouse. But I'm thinking that I'm also going to permanently put the citrus in there. And then I won't have to move them in and out and stuff like that. We'll see, y'all. We will see. That's my plan. I think it's going to be amazing. Oh, and then the seating area will go where this greenhouse is. That's my plan. We shall see how it works out. But anyway, I have talked y'all head off long enough, I think, unless I see something else I want to tell y'all about, which I do. I know I keep talking about this green stalk, but it's just looking amazing. Y'all remember how small that celery was? Do you? I do too. And it's growing. It's growing well. Oh, by the way, I put that Swiss chard that I did not use for my mom's garden because she decided not to. I put some of it in here too. That green stalk just looks amazing. And I really could start harvesting these. I'm just waiting for the frost. They say that these things taste better once they get a frost on them. By the way, somebody asked me a really good question. They said, did you do any research on green stalk growing? And they said, I thought it gets cold in your area. When the soil freezes, won't it turn to mush? So I'm doing real-time research. We're going to see what happens in these green stalks. I have seen people close to me garden in greens. Well, not close to me, but you know, like Maryland area, they garden in these green stalks during the fall. I'm pretty sure they do. They had fall plants in it. Whatever. We're going to do this real time and see what happens. If it doesn't work, then I'll know. The thing is, I grow uncovered all year long anyway. The soil freezes in my bags, in my beds, and I'm still able to garden. I don't see why this would be any different, but I might find out that it is. But we're going to find out together. We're going to find out together, y'all. Oh, also, the Trombicino squash, the one that's on there, I'm going to give that to the chickens. They say that squash seeds is really good for the chickens. And since I am really trying to make sure that they stay healthy, it's only one of them. Not a big deal to me. Also, my gourds are still falling off. The gourds are still falling off, y'all. So let me show you. I came out here this morning and 2 more have fallen off. Somebody told me to cut the rot off, so I am going to do that. I just haven't gotten around to it. Actually, I'm going to do that as soon as I end this video so I can remember. But they were like, cut the rot off so that it doesn't spread. And this might be a situation where it's spreading. I really don't know. Anyway, yeah, they're still falling off. I want the bottom because I want to make bowls and I need them to dry out first. So I have them in that greenhouse. Somebody also asked me, like, will I ever use the greenhouse for seedlings? They remember that I had ants in it. I will, but if the ants come back, I'm not going to put my seedlings in there. Oh, that's the other thing. Next year, when I start my pepper plants, I'm not fertilizing them with fish emulsion. As I understand it, aphids are drawn to excess nitrogen. So I'm going to fertilize them with something balanced because that could be why I had such a bad aphid and ant problem. Those aphids and ants were on my seedlings before I planted them out. I'm not going to do that next year. I'm going to use a balanced fertilizer. But if you remember, I just started using balanced fertilizer. I've been using fish emulsion for everything. Anyway, that's the end of the video. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.